Congressman Vindman absolutely obliterates Pete Hegseth on national security. He's dropping the ultimate bombshell.
Mr. Secretary, many believed you were underqualified for this role. You've been Secretary for 4.5 months now. For the sake of the American people and our service members, I hope you've done your homework since. Let's talk Indo-PACOM.
In a high-stakes clash that transcended party lines, he grilled the Secretary of Defense and top military brass on everything from our true state of readiness to the hidden dangers of modern warfare. His questions weren't just about strategy, they were a demand for truth.
What year has the Navy publicly set as the benchmark for being ready to fight a war with China?
Well, it needs to be right now. We know what China has said.
I'm glad to hear that, but there is a publicly set date.
Well, we know it wouldn't be prudent for me in this environment to reveal when we think we're ready. That's what China has said, and we understand what they're saying. We want to be capable and ready for it.
Not a filibuster. 2027 is the...
When hit with the barrage, Pete couldn't answer a single question. See for yourself as the tension explodes while Eugene unleashes rapid-fire challenges.
Confirmed that there was, in fact, a pause in offensive cyber operations earlier this year. The SecDef just denied this. This committee deserves to know whether the Secretary just lied.
Vindman even hinted that the Secretary may have misled Congress about pausing offensive cyber ops. If that claim holds, it's not just political drama, it's a staggering breach of trust. But then came the twist that changed everything. The U.S. Navy openly pegging 2027 as the year it'll be ready for a potential war with China should have every lawmaker alarmed. That's not strategy, it's a countdown clock on a geopolitical powder keg, and the Pentagon spinning it like some corporate milestone only makes it sound more reckless. But if you thought that was explosive, the next part cranks the drama up even higher.
Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over Signal. I spoke to her again on Tuesday and asked her if there was anything she wanted me to bring up. She believes that you need to resign.
And the Pentagon framing it like some corporate KPI only makes it sound more reckless. But if you thought that was intense, buckle up. The next part is even more explosive.
According to unclassified DoD assessments, how many warships does China have in its Navy today?
Many and growing.
370. It's the largest Navy in the world. How many does the U.S. Navy have today?
Thanks to this budget, it's increasing
it's a number. I'm looking for a number.
But it's just south of 300.
296, pretty close. How many ships is China expected to field by 2030?
I believe that's a classified number, but it's going to go up at a rapid rate.
Report that was released. There's an unclassified number.
It's going up at a rapid rate.
Let me help you out. 435.
Congressman Vindman didn't just stump Pete Hegseth with a geography question, he exposed something far deeper. The gulf between TV soundbites and real military strategy. His spotlight? The Suwalki Gap, a narrow yet critical stretch between Poland and Lithuania that could decide the fate of a NATO-Russia clash. But what happened next stunned everyone and changed everything.
Let's see if we do better in EUCOM. What corridor in eastern Poland is vulnerable and a priority for U.S. reinforcements? It connects Belarus to a Russian region.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can tell you. It's the Suwalki Gap.
What Vindman revealed was the kind of tactical insight that ought to be driving U.S. defense policy, not recycled sound bites on cable news. And if you think this is just about maps or trivia, think again. The war in Ukraine is already proving how quickly modern combat is evolving. Over 70% of frontline losses now come from first-person view drones, a chilling glimpse of just how deadly and advanced the battlefield has become. And yet, that's only the first layer.
Which heavily militarized Russian territory connected the Suwalki Gap? It contains nuclear-capable missiles. It threatens all of NATO. It's right there in the middle of Eastern Europe.
I see we're playing a quiz game here.
It's
ultimately, thankfully, we're getting our NATO allies to step up in their spending to make sure that they can hold the line.
Mr. Secretary, I asked you a specific question. Thank you. It's Kaliningrad Oblast.
Vindman's point landed with force. You don't stop drone swarms or defend NATO's borders with talking points. You need hard strategy, real intelligence, and a clear-eyed grasp of both the terrain and the politics shaping it. But here's the catch. We've only just cracked the surface, and the real kicker is still ahead.
So, what percentage of Ukrainian frontline casualties, let's talk drones, are now caused by FPV drones?
A very large percentage, and we're studying that conflict closely to understand
I hope so.
that fact.
It's over 70%.
At the end of the day, this isn't about scoring debate points. It's about whether America is ready for the wars of today, not just reliving the wars of the past. But what happened next upended everything we thought we knew.
And which U.S. service has written doctrine or standardized procurement for integration of FPV drones?
That's the Army.
I wish that were the case, but actually the answer is none of them. So we're not prepared yet, and we need to get there fast.
When the mother of an F-18 pilot calls for a congressman to resign, it's more than raw emotion, it's a gut punch to public trust. Congressman Vindman isn't just battling critics across the aisle, he's now squarely in the crosshairs of military families who fear his decisions may have put American lives in danger. And if you thought that was shocking, what comes next will leave you speechless.
Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over Signal. I spoke to her again on Tuesday and asked her if there was anything she wanted me to bring up. She believes that you need to resign.
The charge that he may have leaked classified information, an allegation that, if true, isn't partisan mudslinging. It strikes at the very core of duty, service, and national security.
She also had several questions, but one thing, she said she would appreciate an apology for putting classified information. Her son couldn't even tell her where the Truman was going.
Demands for an apology aren't just about polishing his image. They're about accountability, a principle too many in Washington act like is optional. If Vindman wants to grill generals and press military leaders on national security, then he should be held to the very same high bar, if not higher. But that's not the end of it, because the worst for Pete Hegseth is still ahead.
But into the Houthi PC small group signal chat that risked her son's life and the mission. Mr. Secretary, yes or no, do you think you owe her an apology?
Please make sure to let her know how grateful we are for the skill and heroism of her.
I am very much grateful. I'm sure everybody in this room is grateful. I'm proud of what her son has done.
Congressman Vindman didn't just spar with Pete Hegseth, he flat out called on him to resign. And this wasn't theater, it landed with force. By pointing to the risks posed to a service member's life and mission, Vindman made it clear he sees a leadership failure at the highest level. To him, this isn't about politics or point scoring. If mistakes endanger lives, resignation isn't a choice, it's the only responsible move.
The question is, do you owe her an apology for your actions? Are you going to be accountable?
It was an incredibly successful mission. Her son did great work.
They did a magnificent job.
Thankfully, the Houthi campaign was successful.
Secretary, I agree with you. Magnificent job. The performance of those pilots and Navy personnel, magnificent. We're talking about what you did and accountability. Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You don't apologize for putting her son's life in danger.
Think about it. If a mother believes her son's life was recklessly put in danger and the Secretary of Defense can't even offer an apology, this isn't about red tape or bureaucracy. It's about the collapse of moral responsibility.
Well, that's really disappointing and not befitting the type of leadership that our troops and families deserve. It's frankly a stunning lack of OPSEC. Privates are trained to do much better than that. It was reckless. And it sounds like that accountability doesn't extend as far as the Secretary of Defense.
Vindman's fiery showdown laid bare a deeper truth. Too many leaders hide behind titles and press releases instead of owning the weight of their decisions. Wearing the uniform of command isn't just about authority, it's about accountability. And when the top brass fails, someone has to call it out. Vindman just did. Now the real question is this: will anyone else in Washington have the courage to stand with him? Or will the halls of power just let this moment fade into the noise? What do you think? Drop your take in the comments. We want to hear it.